Let me paint you a picture that'll make your blood boil. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, thousands of Vegas workers are getting pink slips. Not the flashy, headline-grabbing mass layoffs you might expect, but something far more sinister. What industry insiders are calling the silent MGM 2020. MGM Resorts just eliminated concierge desks at 6 major Strip properties: MGM Grand, Park MGM, New York, The Signature, Mandalay Bay, and Vdara. 34 loyal employees, some with decades of experience, got the boot. But here's the kicker. MGM claims this isn't about budget cuts or economic concerns. They're calling it streamlining operations to better match evolving guest preferences. Evolving guest preferences? Give me a break. You know what guests really want? The personal touch that made Vegas legendary. The concierge who remembered your anniversary, knew your favorite table, and could get you that impossible dinner reservation has been replaced by corporate suits who decided that kind of service isn't profitable enough. And the numbers now show the damage. The tourism stats are absolutely devastating, and they're trying to hide them from you. Las Vegas visitor numbers have declined every single month in 2025, with the first 6 months showing a 7.3% decrease compared to 2024. In July alone, visitor numbers plunged 12%, dropping from 3.5 million to just 3.1 million. But it gets worse. Hotel occupancy rates crashed 14.9% in June, marking the city's deepest drop for the year. And if you think that's bad, the week ending July 5th saw occupancy fall another 16.8%, bringing it down to just 66.7%. Remember when you couldn't get a room on the Strip without booking months in advance? Those days are gone. Strip occupancy, which used to be bulletproof, dropped to 79.5% in July, down 7% from the year before. Here's something that should terrify every Vegas regular. Revenue per available room plunged 28.7% in early July, hitting a pathetic $102.75. For those who don't speak hotel, that means the casinos are making less money per room than ever. And when casinos make less money, guess who pays the price? The workers who built this place? And MGM isn't the only one swinging the axe. Resorts World announced layoffs of dozens of employees less than 24 hours before receiving one of the heftiest regulatory fines in Nevada history. Talk about kicking workers while they're down. The Venetian let go of less than 50 team members out of their 8,500 workforce. And Fontainebleau laid off as many as 60 table game dealers in May. Even old-school properties like Treasure Island enacted their second round of layoffs this summer. But here's what really gets me fired up. Las Vegas lost 4,300 jobs between July and August 2025 alone. These aren't just statistics. These are dealers, cocktail waitresses, housekeepers, and security guards who dedicated their careers to making your Vegas experience magical. And the pain doesn't stop there. The gambling numbers tell the real story of Vegas's decline. Strip casino operators have seen gaming revenue decline in 6 of the past 7 months, while downtown Las Vegas casinos posted declines in 4 of the past 6 months. You regulars know what this means better than anyone. Coin-in and table game drop, the total amount gambled, and the key metric casinos use to gauge volume, has been up and down lately, with more dips than jumps. One casino executive, speaking anonymously because he'd lose his job for telling the truth, laid it out perfectly. Volume is down here in Las Vegas, absolutely. You're having fewer visitors, and those visitors have less wallet share, which makes for less spend in the casino. Therefore, if you have less spend in the casino, you have to adjust your operating decisions and operating expenses. Translation: fewer players means fewer jobs. Let me tell you about the Vegas you remember, the one they're systematically destroying. Remember when cocktail waitresses knew your drink before you ordered it? When pit bosses treated you like family? When your host actually had power to comp your room after a bad night at the tables? Now they're installing comp drink validation systems that monitor your play rate and decide if you've earned a free drink. A light on your machine tells the cocktail waitress whether you deserve service. How's that for hospitality? You used to be able to walk into any major casino and find a concierge who could work miracles, get you into the hottest show, make dinner reservations at fully booked restaurants, even help with personal errands. That person knew your name, remembered your preferences, and treated you like the VIP you were. Now, MGM has eliminated in-person concierge services at most Strip properties, routing calls to just 2 locations, Aria and Bellagio. They call it streamlining, but we know what it really is: the corporate takeover of Vegas hospitality. The workers are talking, and their stories will break your heart. Industry insiders are calling the current situation a silent MGM 2020, with attrition, automation, and cost-cutting to bolster margins. MGM furloughed 140 managerial employees in Las Vegas properties in December 2024, attributed to anticipated low business volumes in early 2025. These weren't seasonal adjustments. These were permanent cuts to people who spent decades building their careers in hospitality. One longtime MGM employee, who asked to remain anonymous, said it perfectly. "I wish we were in a position both as a city, as a nation, and as a company where I could say, good for them, they deserve it." But this happening the week people lose their unemployment boost, and when people are quitting their job because they don't feel safe and with everything going on, it's a slap in the face. And that slap isn't just personal, it's systemic. Nevada now has the second highest state unemployment rate behind only California, and Vegas is leading the charge. These aren't just job numbers. This is the destruction of institutional knowledge. When a casino lays off a 20-year dealer, they're not just cutting payroll, they're eliminating someone who knew how to handle problem players, who could spot card counters from across the pit, who understood the subtle psychology of keeping games moving and players happy. When they eliminate a longtime cocktail waitress, they're not just saving on wages and benefits. They're removing someone who remembered that you drink Maker's Mark neat, who knew to bring you coffee after midnight, who could read the room and knew when you needed space or when you wanted conversation. And just like with the people, the same cold logic is being applied to the machines themselves. The variety and looseness of slots has been systematically reduced. Corporate efficiency experts have determined that fewer machine types mean lower maintenance costs and easier staff training. But you've noticed, haven't you? The quirky games that used to pay decent jackpots have been replaced by corporate-designed profit extractors. The machines that used to give you hours of entertainment on $20 now eat your money in minutes. And those slot club benefits that used to actually mean something, they've been optimized by algorithms designed to give you just enough to keep playing while ensuring the house edge increases year after year. Every one of these layoffs represents a relationship destroyed. The pit boss who knew your betting patterns and could authorize that comp you needed, gone. The bartender who had your drink ready before you sat down, let go. The host who actually had discretion to take care of you, replaced by a call center. You're witnessing the corporate sterilization of Las Vegas. They're turning it into just another tourist trap where nobody knows your name and everyone's replaceable, including you. But here's what really burns me up. They built this city on your backs. Your losses paid for those towers. Your loyalty filled those showrooms. Your word of mouth brought your friends and family. And now they're abandoning you for algorithms and automation, leaving a human-shaped hole in every corner of the Strip. To understand the impact, let me break down what these layoffs really mean for you as a Vegas regular. Every eliminated position represents longer wait times for service, less personalized attention, reduced knowledge base among remaining staff, higher employee turnover as remaining workers get overloaded, elimination of the institutional memory that made Vegas service legendary. MGM's CFO Jonathan Halkyard admitted that full-time equivalents were down in Las Vegas during the first 3 months of 2025, telling analysts, "We can't tie those numbers to any specific actions we've taken. The fact of the matter is that we're always managing our labor expenses." Managing labor expenses. That's corporate speak for we're cutting the people who actually serve our customers to boost our stock price. These cuts aren't isolated incidents. They're part of a deeper shift in how Vegas operates. The city is moving away from the gambling-centric model that you regulars helped build toward a more generic entertainment and tourism approach. Despite a record-breaking $382.7 million in room tax collections in fiscal year 2024, the LVCVA projects a 5% decline in room tax revenue for 2025 to 2026, signaling weakening demand. The economics are brutal. Visitor spending per person increased 5% to $1,322 in 2024, driven by higher hotel rates, resort fees, parking costs, and dining expenses. But this has led to consumer fatigue, with many longtime visitors feeling that Vegas no longer offers the value it once did. Yet despite this decline, there are steps you can take to push back. You might feel powerless watching this destruction, but you're not. Your voice and your wallet still matter, maybe more than ever. First, speak up. Leave reviews that specifically mention when you receive impersonal service or when familiar faces are gone. Casino executives read these reviews, and they know that word of mouth can make or break their reputation. Second, vote with your dollars. Seek out the properties that still prioritize service over pure profit extraction. Support the dealers, cocktail waitresses, and other workers who are still fighting to maintain Vegas standards. Third, document what's happening. When you visit Vegas and notice the changes, share your experiences. The more we expose how they're destroying what made Vegas special, the more pressure they'll feel to reverse course. Let me paint two pictures for you. The Vegas you fell in love with had dealers who knew your name and your betting patterns, cocktail waitresses who could spot you from across a crowded casino floor, pit bosses who had the authority and discretion to comp your room after a tough session, hosts who actually hosted, building relationships that lasted decades. That Vegas understood that gambling was about entertainment, and entertainment required personal connection. The city knew that your losses weren't just transactions. They were investments in experiences, relationships, and memories. Today's Vegas treats you like a data point in an algorithm. Your play gets tracked by computers that calculate your theoretical loss and determine your comp value down to the penny. Human discretion has been replaced by rigid formulas designed to extract maximum profit while giving minimum benefits. Where is all this heading? The trend is clear: fewer employees, more automation, less personal service. They're betting that spectacular shows, trendy restaurants, and flashy attractions can replace the human connections that built Vegas's reputation. But here's what they're missing, and what you regulars understand better than anyone. Vegas was never really about the gambling. It was about feeling special. about being treated like you mattered, about experiencing a level of service and attention that you couldn't get anywhere else. You can get gambling anywhere now. Every state has casinos. You can play poker online. You can bet sports from your phone. What you can't get everywhere is the Vegas experience, or at least you used to not be able to get it everywhere. Now, as they eliminate the people who created that experience, Vegas is becoming just another expensive tourist destination with slot machines. I know some of you corporate suits are probably watching this. Let me explain something you clearly don't understand. These aren't just employees you're laying off. They're the living embodiment of your brand promise. Every veteran dealer you eliminate takes decades of knowledge and customer relationships with them. Every cocktail waitress you let go represents hundreds of regular customers who now have one less reason to choose your property. You think you're cutting costs, but you're actually destroying the asset that made Vegas profitable in the first place. The personal connection between your staff and your customers. And the people on the ground are speaking up about it. I've been talking to dealers, floor supervisors, and managers across the Strip, and they're all telling the same story. The pressure to reduce payroll has become relentless, even in profitable departments, one longtime supervisor told me. They used to measure us on customer satisfaction and repeat business. Now it's all about labor cost percentages and efficiency metrics. We're not hospitality professionals anymore. We're cost centers. A veteran dealer shared this insight. The new managers don't understand that building relationships with players takes time and investment. They see me chatting with a regular customer and think I'm wasting company time. They don't realize that conversation might generate thousands in future play. These casino layoffs don't happen in a vacuum. When thousands of hospitality workers lose their jobs, it impacts restaurants, retail shops, entertainment venues, and service businesses throughout the valley. The tourism industry generates $85.2 billion in total economic impact in southern Nevada. When that industry starts shedding jobs, the effects ripple through the entire economy. Laid-off casino workers don't just stop working, they stop spending. That ripple effect hits visitors too, meaning your next Vegas trip will feel the strain. Here's the harsh reality of what you can expect on your next visit. Longer wait times for cocktail service as fewer waitresses cover larger sections. Less knowledgeable staff as experienced employees are replaced with cheaper newcomers. Reduced comps and tighter qualification requirements. More crowded gaming areas as they close sections to reduce staffing. Generic, corporate, scripted interactions instead of genuine personal service. The Vegas you remember, where everybody knew your name and bent over backward to make your experience special, is being systematically dismantled in the name of corporate efficiency. This is bigger than just layoffs. This is about preserving the soul of Las Vegas. You built this city with your loyalty, your losses, and your love for the unique experience it provided. Don't let them destroy it without a fight. Start by sharing your Vegas stories in the comments below. Let's create a record of what made this city special before it's completely lost. Tell us about the dealers who made your night, the cocktail waitresses who knew your drink, the hosts who treated you like family. Then, speak up when you visit. Ask for managers by name. Compliment employees who still provide great service. Make noise when the service falls short of Vegas standards. Your voice matters more than you think. These corporate executives live and die by customer feedback scores and online reviews, which means your choices can directly influence the future of Vegas. Las Vegas can still be saved, but it requires customers like you to demand better. The city didn't become the entertainment capital of the world by accident. It became legendary because it offered something you couldn't get anywhere else. That something wasn't just gambling. It was the feeling that you mattered, that you were special, that someone cared about your experience. The executives making these layoff decisions have forgotten that Vegas's greatest competitive advantage was never the buildings or the games. It was the people.